Grand awakening, goddesses and awakened gods. It's your goddess here, GoddessLyphe, the people's goddess. And it's time for me to reintroduce myself. It's time to talk about who the fuck is GoddessLyphe. I am going to introduce this series, reintroduce this series, because it recently has occurred to me that the people that maybe follow me on my more personal channels, which is happens to be the ones that are blowing up, which is my Facebook channel, wasn't privy to this GoddessLyphe change. They knew me as Christina. And all of a sudden, I started introducing all of the spiritual information, personal details about my life in the past and the present, actually, that people may not have known about me before. And I realized people might have been perplexed as to what the fuck is she doing? So I am going to give a re-intro into GoddessLyphe. Grand awakening, it's GoddessLyphe. I'm very sincere about goddesses being a goddess, and that all women on this planet are goddesses, not just me. The only difference between me and most other goddesses is that I know I'm a goddess, and so I take it as a personal purpose to enlighten other women that y'all are goddesses too. And so we can all be on the same page, because unbeknownst to me, my plans were to grow my spiritual journey and my teachings over on my Instagram channel, right? Goddess_Lyphe, L-Y-P-H-E. And I kept that separate from my Facebook, Christina Berry, right? I kept that separate. And due to the fact that I'm getting a lot of traffic over on my Facebook channel, and I just started putting out my spiritual information over there, and I never said a word about what the hell I was doing. So, and these are my day ones over there, over here on Facebook. These are my people that knew me when and stuff like that. And that's probably a lot of the reason why I didn't want to share this spiritual leg of my journey, because that was a real vulnerability point for me, and I wasn't ready yet. But slowly but surely I started doing it, and then I realized these people have no idea what the fuck is going on. They probably thought I fucking lost it, but I haven't. Well, I did, and then I found it, then I lost it again, but we're okay now. So what I want to do is give you some information, some reasons that I started this journey was with a podcast. I started with the podcast. I don't know if you've heard me talk about Lighthouse to GoddessLyphe. It's currently under construction, but I do have some episodes on there that you might want to look into, because they're very foundational to the belief structure that I have, to learning about what I talk about, frequency, vibration, stuff like that. So you might want to find that wherever you download podcasts. I have not been on there in a minute, but I'm going to make my way back to Lighthouse to GoddessLyphe and finish doing that podcast. But basically what I do is I give wisdom and insight on spiritual technology and practical techniques for today's modern goddesses and awakened gods to manifest your heart's desires into your 3D physical experience. That's my calling. That's what I do. GLB Spillin Divini Tea, honey. Divinity. That's what I started out with when I first started my Instagram channel, was talking about manifesting. And as a manifest enthusiast, it just grew. I grew spiritually. I grew into other aspects of spirituality. I discovered things about myself that I didn't know that was happening. I didn't know what was up with me. And I'm talking about the tarot. And that came much later into my journey. But let me back it up for 1 second. A lot of times the spiritual journey is precedented by a traumatic event. And at this time, it was 2021. We were still in the pandemic. I was living in Philadelphia, North Philly to be exact, Woodstock and 9th and 20th. Okay, if you know anything about that area, it's probably one of the most dangerous hoods in the nation. And I found myself with my children living there in a squat. We will get back to that story another time, because I want to just kind of keep it moving over here with this story. But there was a lot of, I was also with the narcissist at the time. You'll see me posting about being a survivor of a narcissistic relationship. And at the time I was with that narcissist, and we had talked about doing a podcast together. He just never followed through on it, and I did. So the more that he was cycling into his out in the streets phase, he had phases where he was in the house and could nobody go nowhere, and then he had phases when he was out in the streets. So instead of letting that bother me, that he wanted to be out in the streets all the damn time, I started being more constructive with my free time, as I called it, my free time. And this is when I was working on my podcast. This is when I was starting to do videos and doing research and things of that nature. So what I focused on less the spiritual journey, right? So what happened one night, we were sitting around, we were talking, and it was probably one of the best conversations that we have ever had. And I was going over my life, and he was giving his feedback of what he knew of me, and came to the conclusion that I've been through a lot, but I have overcome a lot, that I'm a high achiever, that I am strong and wise, and all the things that I have developed as a result to having a hard knocks life, right? And we were on the same page. It was a magical moment. It had never happened before, and it never happened again. And he was being really encouraging and supportive in a way that, like I said, never did it before, never did it since. But that particular time, yes. And then the phone rang. And it was something, you know, that feeling you get sometimes when the phone rings. You just know it's bad news on the other end. You just know it. And this was, I could not have prepared myself for what came next. It was the worst news. It was the worst news. And it was my daughter and my ex-mother-in-law. And my daughter was shaky, trembling in her voice. She had been crying, I could tell. And she just told me to go get her younger brother and sit down. She had something to tell me. What she told me next changed our lives forever. And what she said was that her stepmother, who was living in Utah with their father at the time, as a married couple, her stepmother had passed away in her sleep. And then subsequently, after that, as a result of heart failure and exhaustion, trying to do CPR, her father died on the way to the hospital as well. Their father passed away. And that was on the same evening that this had happened. And so that was a tremendous shock. I personally went into hysterics because in my mind, I was like, these kids already have it rough. Going along with me through the things that I have been through in this life. And like I said, at that time, we were living in a squat. My daughter was separated from us, and she was back in our hometown in Texas. And for her to have to relay this information to me, and me not being there with me, tore me apart. You got to know too, at this time, the narcissist that I was with, the father actually to my two younger children. I have 5 children. I have an elder son. I've got 2 middles and 2 littles. Okay. The 2 littles' father switched like a light. I don't know if it was him seeing me being emotional about another man, but damn, I just found out that this man that I was married to, had 2 children with, died. And I think that bothered him. But anyway, so goes the switches of a narcissist, right? They can switch it on and off like a light. So, but I wasn't worried about him. It was this conversation that we had just had, and then me getting this, probably some of the worst news that I've ever gotten in my life. And subsequently, as a result from that, you know, my son and I had to fly to Utah, and a lot of events occurred there. And basically, I had to help deliver this obituary type situation. We were still kind of in COVID time, and the funeral was being live streamed, right? So me and my mother-in-law, my ex-mother-in-law, we sat down and wrote the obituary, and I stood up and I presented it. I actually had to do that twice. I did that in Utah, and I did it again in Houston, where we're from. And it was the most difficult thing. It was, I wouldn't have ever known that this would be the position that I would be put into. And as I'm thinking about the next phase, introducing my spiritual journey at the time, I then began to think, well, if this is a legacy, if this is an empire that I'm building, I need to mash the gas, right? I need to mash the gas and get this done, because now I am my middle's only living parent. And not only that, I've got two more behind that. And by this time, I kind of knew I wasn't going to be with their father. I had pretty much had enough. Evidenced by the fact that when he was out and about doing things that were dastardly deeds, whatever the fuck he was doing, while he was out and about doing whatever the fuck he was doing, instead of sitting up crying, I started to hone in on my skills and my talents and my abilities. And I started making these videos, right? And I said, I'm going to have to do what I said I'm going to do, follow through with it, and actually execute the plan. So I started doing that. By this point, presently, I have built up a whole library of videos. And like I said, that event preceded that, me, getting the lead out and going ahead and producing, like I said, that I wanted to, right? Just going ahead and follow through. I don't care what he was doing or not going to do. I had to do it by myself, and I did it by myself. I learned how to podcast. I learned all of these, technical things by myself, and he wasn't going to contribute. In fact, he was trying to be a hindrance, but I didn't let him, because you never know how long you have, right? And, that scared me, that had happened to my children's father. And you never know how things are going to turn out. So if there's something pressing on your heart to do, is there something that's leaning on your spirit and you've been given divine inspiration, you need to do that thing. I'm here to tell you, and I'm so glad that I did. GLB Spillin Divini Tea, honey, divinity. Now to this point, I've evolved, and now it's, going into manifesting your intentions with clarity. Still, I also wish to inspire you to master your power, to manifest your intentions with clarity, to manifest the desires of your heart into your 3D physical experience. I feel like that this is something that we have the power to do. And I have been studying this for quite some time, for years and years. Actually, me and the children's father that passed away, we started studying manifesting together at the same time. So years and years had passed, and I was in and I was out and this kind of thing. And since, pandemic was there in 2020, I had some time. And then I started to develop GoddessLyphe. It just was something that had come to me. It's like I feel like that I am a goddess. I feel like all women are goddess. The only difference is between me and other women is that I know that I'm a goddess. So maybe I'm the messenger in this point, waking people up, and that's where the Grand Awakening came from. Waking people up to your spirituality, your inner divinity, for you to explore and get to know yourself and hone in on who you are and what you're capable of, and your true purpose for being here in this reality at this time and space on the continuum, right? I always keep it sage and hood. And what that means when I say that is I developed all these acronyms. Anyway, sage is supernatural agape goddess energy. And hood, we say hood stands for handling, overcoming obstacles divinely. So I'm always going to keep it sage and hood with you. It's either through that definition or just who I am, sage and hood, because of my experiences. This is what the outcome has become. I am sage and hood, and I'm going to keep it like that with you. As I continue to inspire you to master your power, to manifest your intentions with clarity, manifest the desires of your heart into your 3D physical experience. And that was the one event. Like, I was already pretty much sold on the idea of, you know, making videos. I had to get past all the things. Yes, it was scary. Yes, I didn't like how I looked on camera. It was, yes, I had to figure out how to do lighting and all these other things. And I did it. I figured it all out. And I'm telling you, I'm here to say, if I can do it, anybody can do it, right? It's just a matter of executing the plan. And now today I can say with confidence that I am your favorite manifest enthusiast. And really what I'm trying to do is help. I'm really trying to help. There at that time unto this, we have met with a great amount of despair that in my lifetime I haven't seen, right? So it's a lot going on. And I am here as a messenger, like I said, and I receive messages called downloads from Spirit, and I feel like it is my purpose to share that with you. So my job as a healing advocate and manifest enthusiast is to get the divine message out and allow people the opportunity to take advantage of tapping into one's own divinity. We all have inner divine masculine energy and inner divine feminine energy. And when these energies are healed and balanced along with the chakra energies, which I have videos all about that I'm going to be sharing with you kind of in an updated way. I was green, I was fresh, I was a baby goddess when I first started doing these videos. And so they might be a little boring, but informative, but a little boring. So I'm kind of reaccessing, redoing. I have evolved so much since that time. There's more things that has come together for me that I can explain in different ways that I couldn't before. So what I'm going to do, and I'm very excited, is I'm going to reintroduce my series of It's Time to Talk About. And there's several healing videos that I have done. I'm going to continue to do the tarot and read the oracle. Don't worry, that's part of who I am. I'm going to continue to do that. But I'm going to bring you more into the goddess life of things and why GLB Spillin Divini Tea, honey. GLB Spillin Divini Tea, honey. Divinity. And bring you more into my journey, more into my spiritual lifestyle that has caused me to gain momentum, right, in this particular way, and how I use frequency and vibration to manifest. And I'm going to be reestablishing all the talks that I've done. So this is going to be really exciting. I think I've got a great idea how to do it, and I want you to tune in. My Facebook crowd, Instagram, TikTok, I'm on YouTube. Everybody, let's go along for this ride as we have, it's a reboot, right? I'm a reboot. I'm rebooting. All right, please take a moment to like, sub, follow, share GoddessLyphe, do all the things. You never know what goes on behind closed doors, and this could really, really help someone do all the things, because this really helps me grow my channel, helps me get my messages out and reach more people. So don't be afraid to like it. I know you like it. Go ahead and like it. It's okay. Like it. Also, I just want to let you know, right, because you never know what goes on behind closed doors, and this really could help someone. There's a lot of people who are suffering in silence behind those closed doors, and it just may be a matter of coming across a video that could spark that divine inspiration and get someone moving along their way to freeing themselves, to liberating themselves in their own spiritual journey. You have my deepest, most sincerest gratitude for taking the time with your divine presence and giving your energy towards my channel and towards my videos, and I appreciate that. So thank you in advance for helping me also expand and evolve in what I'm doing. Life stands for love yields peaceful, harmonious energy, and also because I feel like I chose GoddessLyphe because I feel like I've been through a lot in this life. I've been through a lot, okay? It's not a competition, but I feel like I've been through more than most. And I feel like that I am well on my way to mastering this life. I just have to do the work. I just have to put down that activity. And so that's who I am. I'm life. And that's what we're all here to do, is to master this life. And we're well on the way to doing that. Like I said, I'm a healing advocate and a manifest enthusiast. I'm also a tarot card reader. So I'm going to watch my stories. Follow me so that you can get those stories, that you get the notifications, so you can see that my stories are up. I'd never do anything without having three reasons for doing it. So it would behoove you to follow and stay up with me. Stay up with me. Again, I thank you for your time and your divine presence. And again, love yields peaceful, harmonious energy. And as always, goddesses bless. Bye. GLB Spillin Divini Tea, honey. Divini Tea. If you ain't got no money, go and manifest some. If you ain't got no money, go and manifest some. GoddessLyphe, GoddessLyphe.